But oh, this is gorgeous. You know, the head of security for this show, his name is Steve McIntyre, sweetheart of a man. Took me around all of Niagara Falls, and he was telling me the history of everything over here. Took me to the border where they have the, you know, you can see like the American side. He took me to, you know, there's like a monument for the from the War of 1812. He took me to this floral clock. You guys got some beautiful stuff over here.
Niagara Lake, get that far down to the end.
Oh yeah. I got to see the falls themselves. That was incredible. I mean, you really, you know, it's a terrible place to go if you have to pee, but it really is breathtakingly beautiful. But I guess, you know, they didn't really tell me what to talk about, so I guess I'll talk about myself. I guess I started this whole cosplaying thing back in 2012 at New York Comic Con. I've been going to conventions since 2002. I'm one of the old school original geeks, you know, the people that used to hide their geek paraphernalia deep in their porn. And you never used to dress up. I mean, it was only for the Trekkies. You know, everybody was walking around as Klingons, but I wasn't comfortable doing that kind of thing. I was just a kid back then, you know, I was maybe 14, 15 when I started going to these conventions. And it wasn't until 2012, that fateful year, there was a bunch of people that I worked with at the credit union I work at, and I work at a credit union. It's a normal job, it's not like any kind of crazy thing. And we used to have a blog that we created, you know, amongst co-workers about geeky stuff, and we called it Geek Asylum, and the tagline was, don't break out, break in. And I had my own article called Retro Rob's Cartridge Chronicles, and I would write reviews for vintage NES games, and I would make them funny, like I would tear them apart and stuff, like I would talk about Metroid. There's no game in the world that makes me rage quit more than the original Metroid. God, that game is made by the devil himself. That and Ghouls and Ghosts, forget about it. But I used to write these articles, and we bought tickets for New York Comic Con in 12 to go to this show and get some material for our blog. But the blog actually ended up dying before New York Comic Con, you know, came around, which wasn't until October. But I already had my ticket. It was like about 5 of us that decided, well, we're going to have fun at New York Comic Con this year since we have the tickets. Why don't we dress up? And I'm like, what a wild idea to dress up like a superhero and go in public. But we decided Marvel superheroes was the way to go. My buddy dressed as the Punisher. His girlfriend was Black Widow. My friend Joe didn't want to dress up, so he just said he was Peter Parker. Lame bastard. And then it was me. I was Western Ghost Rider. Big freaking mistake. Holy smoke. My head couldn't have been hotter if it was actually on fire. So I actually ended up getting heat stroke at the show. I sweat through an undershirt, a button-down shirt, and then like a rawhide duster. I mean, I don't know how you sweat through your own skin and then another animal's. But I did, and I actually almost fainted at New York Comic Con. And I said, but people were taking pictures with me and stuff. I thought this was incredible. I was very much the nobody guy, the one that fell through the cracks. Nobody really paid any attention. I mean, I used to play World of Warcraft with these guys 10 years ago, so I give you a figure. But we had a great time, and I was like, you know, I could really get into this cosplaying thing, because I've always loved Halloween, and there was 2 childhood dreams that I realized that they told me were impossible. Number one, I figured I had to make Halloween last year all year round, and then the other thing is I grew up to be a cartoon character. But you know, I had to like look in my closet and say, I have to keep cosplaying, but I can't wear this costume again. So I went in the closet, I was fishing through there, and I saw the green pants. Now, I bought these green pants originally for St. Patrick's Day, because I thought I was gonna like dress up and do like a leprechaun thing. It was gonna be funny, but I never ended up doing it. But I still had the pants, so I slapped the costume together. I said, "Do I have round glasses?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do, because I do the Santa Claus for the company that I work for." I started. They never had a Santa Claus thing, you know. And I decided, you know, instead of Ugly Sweater Day, I decided, why don't I just be Santa Claus? And my boss was okay with it. They got the AVP to okay it. She came down, she loved it so much, she made me the official Santa Claus of the company. And I've been doing it ever since 2011, when, you know, my first year working there. And so I slapped the costume together. Didn't expect any of this stuff to happen. In fact, I was self-conscious when I first bought the costume, because I didn't think people were going to know who I was. You know, you're just walking around in a white shirt and green pants. There's nothing extraordinary about this costume. So I actually took masking tape and I put it on my pass, and it said Peter Griffin on it, just in case people didn't know what it was. I figured they'd probably think I was like a fat John Lennon or something, you know? But I put on the costume, and that whole day was just very funny, because I got to the train station to go into Manhattan, and I bumped into people that I used to work in Toys R Us with. And we're cracking jokes the whole way there. They said that costume's perfect, yada yada. We get to the show, and my friends wanted to meet somebody at Artist Alley. So I didn't know who they were. So I said, you know, you wait on your line, meet the guy, and I'll just walk around the show and do whatever I want to do. I had run out of money because I was spending money like a bandit. Oh my God! I was a rookie back then. You don't buy anything until Sunday because they're willing to make deals because they don't want to bring that shit back to Jersey. So I bought all this stuff on the first day of the show, and I had no more money left. But I wanted to keep buying stuff because I had a, this was before the crippling debt and all that stuff. So I went to the ATM to take out some money, and I don't know what made me think of it, but when the money came out of the machine, I was like, oh my God, I won. And everybody within earshot just turned around in unison. I was like, holy shit, what did I just do? and it was like they formed a perimeter around me, and they were coming in. It was almost like, and if anybody's ever played football, you know those drills where they would circle around you and they call a number and somebody would just run in and tackle you? Well, picture that, but instead of that, it's taking pictures. And they were coming in, they were taking videos and this and that, and I was having a good time with it. And then my friends finally got done with their artist, and they were looking for me, and they said, we heard a commotion. I said, I thought maybe Stan Lee walked in or something. What the hell's going on over there? And lo and behold, it's me standing there like an asshole, dressed like a cartoon. And we had a following from then on, That whole day, people just followed me. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. I thought that was just a really cool day in my life, and that was going to be it. Go back to the regular job, and that was my 15 minutes of fame. But fast forward to like the next July, this is 2013, somebody had posted one of the videos of me from that day to Reddit. And that ended up, somebody wrote to me and they're like, you're trending. And I'm like, what the hell is trending mean? Number one. And number two, what do you mean? Like, what did I do? And they're like, one of your videos from a Comic-Con. And I looked at it. Of course, it's one of the ones that, like, the worst video. Like, they filmed it with a potato and it's a vertical video. But it blew up. It got like 500,000 views. I'm like, holy smokes, I don't even know that many people, One person watched it 500,000 times, But after that, videos just started popping up more and more on the internet, and they started going more and more viral. And then it fast forward to 2014. My buddy Eric, that I used to work with, he went to Quinnipiac College in Connecticut, and he boarded with two fellas that were film students. And he showed them the video of me, doing my thing, and they asked if they could follow me around New York Comic Con and see what I do. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? As long as you can get tickets, I already have my ticket. And they filmed me in my basement. They did a little interview with me, which is, the video that everybody knows. And then they followed me for 2 days at Comic Con. And they condensed like 24 hours worth of footage into like 3 minutes and change. I'm like, geez, I'm glad I'm not the editor. But it took them so long. I mean, New York Comic Con's in October. We didn't post that video until January of 15. And my buddy Eric works in marketing in Manhattan. So he knows about social media and hashtags and all that stuff, how to get the largest reach. So we created a new channel, so this way it wouldn't be on any one of our individual channels. And we called it Boom Big Pants because it was an inside joke between me and my buddy Eric. It doesn't make any sense, and it still doesn't. But we created the channel, and I think after a day we had over 3 million views, and I'm like, holy smokes, what the hell happened? And it's just incredible that I still go to my job, and I still, I'm still miserable, but I get to come to these shows and I get to meet some incredible people over the years. And it really, I suck at being famous. I'm not like those people that know how to handle it, I'm terrible at social media. I'm sorry if I don't post on Facebook often enough. I'm sorry if I don't make videos often enough. I try to get to as many of these shows as I can, because I do have to work around, my vacation schedule. Only until this year did I start getting 3 weeks vacation. And the way that financial institutions work is that you have to take 2 of your weeks consecutive so they can audit you while you're on vacation. And I have to like waste a whole bunch of time on just like a whole week when I could just break it up through the, the year. So I get,